Welcome, all my betting brothers and sisters, to the Odds Jam YouTube channel. I am Greg S., and another NFL week is in the books, and the brand did not disappoint with its examples of some wild and wacky games. So let's take a look at a few of those examples from the week that was. How about the Patriots nearly dropping one to the lowly Texans because apparently Davis Mills remembered he can play football after two back-to-back blowout losses, and last week Mills only passing for 87 yards total. He amassed over 300 passing yards against Bill Belichick, the supposed rookie QB killer. And if it wasn't for all that cutesy pre-snap motion before a punt, before the Texans punter beamed one off the back of his own guy's head, I don't know what that was all about, but the Texans might have held on to win that game. The NFL is weird, man. How about the Cardinals? They actually cashed for me. I did mention back in my risk-free bet explanation video, and if you haven't watched that, go back, find it, watch it, enjoy it, like it, that I was favoring their line. They were at -5.5 against the Niners for Week 5. I got that as an odds boost actually on FanDuel. That's why it's important to have several books, and of course line shop with Odds Jam. But I got that at +120. Now they did make it interesting there, but finally towards the end they did go ahead and cover and beat the running back that was masquerading as a QB for the Niners. That Chargers-Browns game was insane. I did lose a spread bet there. I had the Browns at -2.5, but in the second half, they forgot defense, particularly in that fourth quarter. It was nuts. And they were covering all the way up to the last Chargers drive there, and if the Chargers had been more careful not to score, they would have covered. But the Browns actually helped Austin Eckler into the end zone so they could get the ball back, which was the right decision, I guess, football-wise, although the Browns didn't do anything with it at the end of an explosive fourth quarter. But that cost us a bet there. So yeah, just another very entertaining week. That's why I love the NFL. It's hard to bet on. However, if you are using all of the tools that Odds Jam has available for you to continue to build that bankroll, you can survive some losses like that Browns game there. But if you're making sure that you're using these arbitrage, the low hold, the middle, the positive EV, and you are growing that bankroll each and every week, you can have fun placing some other straight bets on the sport. Okay, so it's always nice to look ahead as early as you can, and if you see some lines that you like, it's not a bad idea to put bets in on them. Lines do move quite a bit throughout the week, especially as sharp money starts coming in on them. There's big betting groups out there that'll bet heavy on favorable lines, and the value in that line will quickly disappear. So if you see something that you do like, you might want to grab it before it moves, and it's always a good idea to take a look if there already has been line movement. So if it's moving away from what you like, you want to grab that bet. If it's moving towards what you like, you might want to go ahead and wait a little bit. So the first thing I want to talk about here is, hey, my Eagles and the Bucs. This is the first time I don't have to say my woeful Eagles when making a video for Odds Jam, because they pulled the upset. They beat the Panthers, which was unbelievable, especially after that first half, and really that third quarter, they weren't putting much value out there on the field, but in the fourth quarter, they turned it on. This line opened at, I think it was, yeah, -7.5. You're still going to see that 7.5, although it is 7 at most places favoring the Bucs. Here we are here on Odds Jam. You can actually get a 6.5 on DraftKings right now at -115. If I were going to make this bet, that would be the one I would pull the trigger at -6.5. I know the Eagles did pull that upset, but you know, for the Panthers, Christian McCaffrey was out, and Chuba Hubbard actually did a lot of damage underneath. I was surprised DJ Moore was not more involved in the game plan. I actually lost a prop bet there. Because DJ Moore didn't have more than, I think he had 3 catches in that game, 3 or 4, and he hadn't had less than, I think, 7 in the game. He certainly had 8 in his last 3. That will not be the case for guys like Antonio Brown, Mike Evans. Gronk has an outside chance to play, I believe. I think the Bucs are going to come in and handily win this game. Tom Brady wants to beat the Eagles. He's going to be highly motivated because I'm sure that Super Bowl loss, as amazing as it was for Eagles fans, is always in the back of his head. He hates the NFC East, probably the Giants more so than the Eagles, but he's going to come in to Philly determined to blow us out of the water, just like the Chiefs did in our own house. So I don't know that I'm going to go ahead and pull that trigger there, although that is great teaser fodder. I am certainly going to have them in a teaser -6.5. All right, let's take a look at the next game I want to talk about. I did mention the Cardinals at the open and that they were on my do not bet list until last week, and I did like them against the Rams, but I didn't take them because last season, whether I bet for or against them, I always seem to lose. But got off the schneid with them last week against the Niners. So they've got the Browns this week, and this game opened at, I think, -4.5 for the Browns, and it's all the way down to -2.5 at most books here. I think a lot of people are going to see what the Browns did against the Chargers in the second half, particularly that fourth quarter, and think that that defense got a little bit exposed, and perhaps it wasn't as good as many people thought coming in. I don't know what happened to them. I wasn't watching that game closely, except for the large amount of time it spent on red zone because of the back and forth scoring happening there. But anytime a unit is embarrassed like that, they're going to come to play the next week. And when they have the Cardinals undefeated coming into their house, they are not going to put forth the same pitiful effort that they did against the Chargers late in that game. Now, the Cardinals actually struggled on offense against the Niners. A lot of people had that as a look-ahead spot. They thought the Cardinals would be coming in fat and happy off of their drubbing of the Rams, and that they'd be looking past the Niners. I didn't buy into that because it was a divisional game. It was going to be important for the standings. They did come out perhaps a little flat, that offense not nearly as explosive as before, but it is this game against the Browns. A lot of people thought that the Packers were going to have a letdown game against the Bengals, and they nearly did, more atrocious kicking, because that game was not overly important on their schedule. It's the same type of thing here for the Cardinals, where the Browns, not the most important game on their schedule when it comes to late in the season and playoff rankings. However, they are trying to keep pacing the NFC. There are quite a few 4-1 teams nipping at their heels, like the Rams, the Bucs, the Packers, the Cowboys. So while it will be important for them to stay on the winning side of things, and they're going to put forth their best effort, the Browns being favored here, I don't hate that. It is one of the best defenses and one of the best running games that the Cardinals will be facing thus far. That's a little too close to call, but that is fantastic teaser possibilities. I don't think the Cardinals will get blown out, so I might have the Cardinals in a teaser. So those are two of the look-aheads that I'm really interested in. Putting bets in, particularly as a teaser. I think it's probably also safe this week to take either the Bills or the Rams. So the Bills down here against the Titans. That spread right now is sitting at 5.5. The Titans have shown me nothing that makes me think that the Bills won't continue to just roll their opponents in the NFL right now. They just handily trounced the Chiefs, and I don't know what the Titans are. I would definitely feel fine laying the 5.5 with the Bills. And the Rams against the Giants. The Giants are just a mash ward right now, so I think that's probably a safe bet as well. I think that's somewhere in the range of 10.5. So we'll take a look. We'll go to the point spread here, see where we're at. Yeah, 10.5. But really, I'm not sure, outside of Kadarius Toney, what the Giants are going to have to try to keep pace with the Los Angeles Rams. So we'll be back a little bit later in the week. We will do another parlay/teaser video that seemed to be well received last week, where we'll take a big fun swing at an underdog parlay with money lines or something like that, and then we'll put together a more serious teaser where you've already had a preview of two of the teams I'm really looking at to put together a nice little teaser for us. So if you have some early leans or some best bets already, be sure to leave them in the comments down below. Let us know what they are. If for some unknown reason you needed to get a hold of me, I can be reached at sportsbetg, that's sportsbet, the letter G, at gmail.com. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to show some plus EV love and click that like button. Make sure you hit our subscribe button so we can help you hit more of those bets, and crush that notification bell so you never miss a gem that the jam will be dropping. And until next time, may all your odds be fair.